square foot
Yeah.
lot, you can barely do it.
Yeah.
Okay, unless your neighbor backs his septic system up to your fence, then you
Yeah,
can't.
5,000 square foot, yeah, it's more, I think.
You know? There are other things that
But you can do
can.
2,000, you can do 2,000.
And I'm not.
And I'm just talking, or 2,000, and because, Bob, as you know, or you may not know, I like that.
I don't.
I've come to the original. Right.
Well,
Which is fine.
we were just out in Seattle. We rented an Airbnb for a week. Very nice city. Okay. They have, the place we rented was very dense packed population, individual homes. Okay. From
What is your definition of density?
Well, I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you.
Go ahead.
Between the lady that we rented from, side of her house and the next house over was about 14 feet. Okay. Yeah, right. Okay. I lived in a place in Frederick, Maryland, and we had 8 feet between houses. Okay. That was my choice. We bought into that. People had no place to park. There were narrow streets. So at night, okay, when people came home from work, one car width was taken up by parked cars. So if there was a car coming the opposite direction and they got there before you did, you had to wait because there was no way you were going to get 2 cars plus the parked cars there.
I want to say that I understand because.
I'm not going to be aggressive.
No.
I like being aggressive.
I want to say this, where I grew up, everybody had 25 by 75 foot lots. We had a shared, and in that, we had a shared driveway. So I know. You know, but it's funny, right? It's how, where you grow up, is how you, what your concept of that. And I was like, to a point where 2 weeks ago, I was in Italy. The house, well, here's a house, here's a house.
Yep.
Here's a house, you know, and everybody was happy, you know, they went out, maybe it was the wine. I don't know, it was the sun, I don't know.
To end on a happy note, before we start the meeting, when I was at the headquarters, you safe. I had a lot of engineers who worked for me, but one of them was down in San Vito, just south of Brindisi.
Okay.
And she was an engineer, and she and her husband had rented a place. I can find them on the economy. They came home one day, their house was empty. Somebody had saw cut through the back of the house and stolen everything they had. Well, so they rented another place. And the owner of that place hadn't paid off the local bad people. They came home 30 minutes early, okay? And come to find out there was a huge explosion. The bad people had blown up the guy's house because he hadn't paid them off. So I have a lot of Italy stories. That's just one of them.
No.
But I love it. I tell you what, we went to Venice.
Okay.
4 of us. It's not my family. It's when we were out on business. We had a day off. And so my colleagues and I rented a gondola. And God, what a day. This guy was great. Took us to nice little restaurants. You know. Oh, it's great. Anyway, that's it. I'm done.
Miss Elizabeth, did you print out agenda?
I did. There's a few on the table.
Yeah.
Mr. Perry needs one?
Do you have one?
No.
Well, I got, yeah. I
Okay, call the meeting order. 4:35. Shall we stand and pledge allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You get enough? Or more? Or more?
We have 3 out of 5.
There you go.
He is a Navy, Navy flights,
Oh, yeah.
3 point.
Good fight. Good point.
I don't see Missy on either. I think we can bypass the number introduction. Looking for reports, so that's just there for every agenda, so I give a report, correct? So since our last meeting, I did have all the Freon extracted from the items that were on hand for Freon. We are required to have at least 5 on hand for the guy to show up, so that's taken care of. TVs are starting to stack up. I'll probably have them dealt with before our next meeting. And also the mattresses were, container was full, so I had that take off also. Other than that, moving right along, the transfer station attendant starting to grab things pretty well. He's kind of busy. People are gonna try to get away with stuff, and he's on it.
Good.
So.
Good.
We're still, as far as people coming and going, because we would talk about in the past before him, maybe line painting or actual barricades, so people are forced to see him first. But he's not in agreement with that now either, because there's people that just recycle, and to put them waiting in line when we already know that vehicle in person, it doesn't make sense when you get people stacking, because you'll put people off the street very quickly. Same thing with there's several that does just yard waste, like those hobby farm manure, they just come on a regular basis. So we'll figure that out. It could be paint, it could be barricade, or just status quo. We're still exploring. But yeah, he's doing things on his own, he's something that needs to be done, he's jumping on it. I did mention that to Elizabeth, because I think it actually falls on the Board of Health as far as mercury training, which should include Leanne, because you could have someone walk in the town hall with mercury. You don't want them to turn around and walk away with it.
No.
Take it from them. Yes.
Okay, no.
Yeah, so probably Leanne and Elizabeth, maybe Heather and the
How
transfer
many
station
mercury
attendant.
items do you pursue?
She just got one.
Thermometer?
Old school wall thermometer, you can see it, if she didn't realize what was mercury. You
That's
can see it
silver?
moving around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, swishing around.
So technically, she's going in.
I shook the box vigorously and Tom almost
I
had,
said, don't do that.
he almost kicked her off me.
This is BT fish.
So technically, it should go in the right container. I'll take it from her in town time. It's supposed to be dated, and you're supposed to dispose of it within a year. But that training used to be free through what was called Cabana at the time, because they want that out of the waste stream.
Right.
So she's gonna check with them and see if there's still free class available. I know during COVID it was remote. She'll find out what's going on. I think that's all I have at this time. Yeah, just a minor thing with the new attendant. We've never had this problem before. There's seems to be a series, more frequency of cards not scanning. So,
Credit cards.
yeah, or debit, yeah, so some of them are obvious, they just one. For redundancy, I probably should have another scanner anyways, so I'm playing with that. Maybe we'll get one that you tap instead as a backup, or vice versa, take the old one.
Is
for a
it
backup.
something that's been? Have you seen this building, or is it a recent phenomenon?
The only thing that's new is the attendant,
Okay,
but it's always been resolved with a check.
okay. That's getting harder.
No,
No?
but our check numbers haven't reduced with the scanner,
Good. Okay.
which is surprising. Because that pays out $3 to $7 fee people want to avoid,
Okay, understood.
depending on what kind of card you have. So we'll probably explore a redundant scanner
They
anyways.
don't take cash at the transfer station.
No, they're not bonded. No, that's a different problem too, even if he was.
No, yeah, understood.
There were, going way back, there were issues with people collecting,
Yes.
attendants collecting cash. And so that, I disagree vehemently with saying let's collect cash there.
No, I don't claim, no cash. It's too much.
I mean, if we have total power failure or internet failure, we can handwrite an invoice like we used to, we'll have to bill.
Yeah.
But there's always a way to resolve the problem.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, there is, it's just everyone's gonna be on the same page, how do we resolve it together?
I have a scanner downstairs, because at one point the Board of Health was gonna try to accept credit cards, so Unipay sent me a scanner. Not gonna use it, so if you wanna look at it, yeah, they voted against it. We don't do enough
Voting against
allowing people to use debit card downstairs to purchase
credit
bags.
debit, purchase anything,
Purchase trash bags mainly.
yeah, but you could have, that scanner, I don't think is specific to that bank. I think it just plugs in. Any
I-
scanner, I think plugs in.
Well, no, it's not, I mean, the bank provides it, it's plugged into the town account, technically, yeah.
Correct.
Doesn't-
It goes into a device, it's just a USB, that's all it is.
None of my permits are online, so there's
Right.
no option to have people pay for permits with the credit card. So strictly just for bags, and when they told us what the fee would be, I mean, it was just, people are already
No,
paying,
the Board of Health will be paying the fee,
the user does.
correct?
Yeah, so the board members said no.
Okay.
Not gonna use it.
All right, so I guess we take the scanner for now, for redundancy.
Before you leave, I'll give it to you.
Okay. That was it on that. Next up, old business, swap shed. I don't know if Mr. Neely talked to you, but because we pushed the meeting up, because of scheduling with the gender qualifications, that pushed Mr. Neely out because he has 5 o'clock, that's a good appointment.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no, we had a very good discussion. Since he's not here, I'm gonna say he is the chair. No, it was a good discussion, and I think Mr. Neely's focus was on aging inventory, mixing the inventory, what about antiques out of the refuse stream, but it's probably best if he addresses those things. He has a wealth of experience in inventory management. I do not. Okay, so can we let that go until our next meeting?
We're gonna let it go for 17 months.
Well,
I've been waiting.
Well, our discussion,
I think we can, maybe just for discussionary purposes, at least bang through the list that you handed out.
oh, yeah, I will.
And then that way,
I
we
plan
might have a chance to chew on it by the next meeting and have a different response.
Yeah, I was just referring to Neely's key points.
Yeah.
Oh, that's-
Now, some of the issues that I really need to bring to ground is staffing. It's got to be dependable and scheduled to ensure that the shed is open to the public during the posted hours. And, as we went back and forth, Dave and I went back and forth with this thing. If you post hours and then you cancel out because a volunteer wasn't there or somebody didn't show up, people understand, being ill or whatever, but then you post them again and then 3 times from now, it's closed again. There has to be reliability there. And, I mentioned volunteers. Is there a real 100% reliability there? Do we have a part-time employee? Do we have a current highway? I don't know what that is. Current highway.
Department, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, department employee, yeah. And it may be the best option, and I don't know what your manning or your staffing looks like, but one of the things we have, what defines success? And I wouldn't want to go out and hire somebody specifically for swap shed. I would think that if it would be possible to your department first, but maybe other departments to hire them on a part-time basis to operate this thing until we can get down to, are we successful? That's another question. What defines success and what metrics are used to measure success? And I recognize we can't bring this to the bullseye. I understand that. But if we could say, for instance, let's say we've been up and running for 6 months. and we look at January of this year, let's say we're up, well, let's go into May of next year, okay? May of next year, we've been running for 6 months. What did May of last year look like? Is there a difference? Can we sort of compare things that way? How much have we taken out? I don't know. What success, okay? I don't know.
So I don't, on that point you just made, I don't think we can look back to find a correlation. Because somebody that has something useful wouldn't be bringing it to the transfer station anyways.
Yeah.
They're gonna, this is giving them an avenue to get rid of something useful, reusable.
Yep.
So you can't go back to
Yep,
last
yep.
year's tonnage.
Right,
For
yeah.
example.
Okay, no, that's fine. I mean, it just, but
Yep.
somehow we need to have something that says, yay us, or, oh, we didn't make the mark. What is the mark?
Okay.
That says we continue the operation or we don't. I mean, I know it's squishy, but we need to sort of zero in on that.
You would think,
so-
I kind of, you know, Bob is saying like May where we, right, whatever that period is before we had the swap shed, is that like our mark? And then let's say the following year, and you just follow, reduction has been, tonnage has been reduced by X amount, but how do, again, it is squishy, because how do you,
Can I-
right, how
can
do
I-
you qualify that? And just 1 second, and then,
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry,
what is it?
sorry,
I
yeah.
mean, do they take out, oh, you know, but then you, right, you sort of have to have a list of the inventory in that, like, all right, oh, so many couches and, you know, yeah.
People ran through here and took things away. I mean,
Yeah.
something, that's fine, but
Yeah.
there needs to be something
Yeah.
that says this is working, okay?
Yeah, so I can answer all of these. So
That's
the
why
thing
we
is
have
back to,
Rule level, please.
and unfortunately, I might have missed the other things. I started with the volunteer and the employee kind of thing. So again, what it can be is you currently have when your recycling center transfer station's open, is you have the person at the gate. That would be your person to look to see what the residents are dropping off would be okay. You don't always have to have a volunteer in there to do that. The volunteers kind of come making it organized and neat and that kind of thing. So the gatekeeper on a regular basis when your station is open could and very often is the person who is at the gate. And the volunteers, like I said, they're the ones that kind of make it pretty, organize it, help maybe getting on social media, like, oh, hey, cool, we have this cute whatever thing, or oh, we just got a big box of Halloween stuff in, 2 weeks to go, kind of come check it out kind of thing. So that's really what the volunteers are going to be for. The volunteers would also be cleaning things out that like they've noticed, or maybe they'd have a log book that something's been there or something's broken and that no one's touching and hasn't moved, in 3 weeks. So that's where those volunteers would be. They wouldn't necessarily be there to staff it when, people want to come in to drop things off. So you would not need to have an extra employee to do that. But, like I said, that would be the job of the guy at the gate kind of thing. Does that make and answer that question?
For the most part, yes. So it
Okay.
would be the attendant to answer the question.
And David had
Okay.
mentioned, in his experience, again, I don't want to speak for him, but part of the discussion we had was just simple little stick-on circular dots. If if it comes in this month, it gets a yellow dot. Comes in next month, a blue
so-
dot, and after a while, you say, it's been here for 3 months because there's a
Yeah.
yellow dot over there. We need to do something
Yeah.
else with
Yeah.
it. But that,
Yeah.
that was part of his management.
You can definitely try that. Most facilities that when they do this, it's because you have like a regular volunteer base. They know that the same Santa mug has been there from July to September and it's time to go. But using the dots is definitely a fine way to do that. I like that. It's simple, easy, elegant to do that. A lot of the thrift stores use that model. So yeah, I mean, that would be great. to do that. And again, making, your volunteers when they're there, they can make sure everything has their little stickers or whatever like that, with that, and make sure they're not falling off. But yeah, you definitely do that. And the other thing is sometimes, even looking at the stickers. So getting back to that Santa mug that I mentioned, somebody drops it off in May. Well, somebody's not really looking for Santa mugs until like maybe November. So, again, there's little things like that. And again, it's all, unfortunately, nothing is really clearly delineated. It's kind of a fluffy thing. And getting to your data again, and this is frustrating with everyone, this kind of thing is fluffy. So when we talk about recycling and recycling rates, Tom can give me tonnages, he can give me how much it costs, he can give me, because there's very clear data. When some of these other things that we're saying that residents and municipalities need to start looking into, we don't unfortunately have all this clear data, like the Fix-It clinics. We don't, we can kind of track how many items residents bring in and got fixed and didn't go in the trash. But again, we don't know if it was going to go into the trash or they were going to give it to, a scrap metal thing, or if it was going to go somewhere else. So we don't have all that data. What some swap sheds do, and this is pretty easy, and this is when they do in Northampton, is they just have a scale, get an old bathroom scale or whatever. It doesn't have to be anything brand new, fancy or whatever, and just weigh the item, if it's coming in. Or again, those volunteers, I don't want to tie up the person, your gatekeeper, so if those volunteers could, maybe, at the beginning of their shift, weigh what the items are or something like that. You could look at it that way. This is what was brought in that might have gone into the trash. But again, you don't know if it was going to go into the trash, or if they were going to pawn it off on, like my mother-in-law used to give kitchen equipment to my husband that she hated, that was really kind of not useful, and she hated using it. And then years later, she's like, "Oh yeah, I hated that." And we're like, "Why did you give it to us? If it's awful, whatever." So you can't track those things. And even looking at your trash tonnage, again, you don't know where it might be going. It might be going to the Lions Club guy who owns the thrift store, or somebody might decide to take it to Savers or whatever. So you don't know if it's necessarily going into the trash. So I know it is so frustrating, trust me, not to be able to have data, and it's maddening. So I get that. But
Well,
the best
I
thing,
would say, if I may, that you could say that a throughput of people bringing things in and more to the point, walking out with things, you'd have to then define, I guess, what level that you have a feel good about it, like we're really being successful here. If these things are coming in instead of going into the trash, and they're going out with people
Mhm.
for reuse. And again,
Yeah.
it's a feel good number then. Okay,
Right,
no, I shouldn't
right.
say, it's, do we feel good about this? Then it's success. If things are
Yeah.
coming in, going out,
Yeah,
coming in.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
So
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
I say the data will never be available because we're introducing a component that's not part of the program.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
And
as far as gauging success would be nothing going in the dumpster, period.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be, I mean, these guys did not allude to the other ways to get rid of these things as far as donating it or getting it out of this waste stream. It's on our website, or it should be on our website. Like the Lions Club or the Baseball League or something like that, they'll take items, or even Savers, going outside of the
Mhm.
town stream.
Yeah.
And that might be the source of education, is going to the transfer station to get that. And that would still be a success when
Yeah.
you turn around.
Yeah,
And that
exactly.
not being part of the waste stream.
Yeah,
So there's
yeah.
never be a way of gauging that.
Exactly.
Except for it's not going in the dumpster.
Yeah, yeah. And unfortunately, like I said, it's maddening. I can give you all sorts of other numbers, but I can't give you anything like that. And Tom,
Okay.
it just occurred to me, and I don't know why it didn't pop into my head earlier. So the Lions Club of Easton, I guess they are the largest Lions Club in Massachusetts, and maybe even the United States, but they actually run a thrift store. And
Right.
I went off hours because I wanted to ask him a million questions and get a really good tour of it. I'll be honest with you, I was totally blown away. I mean, like flabbergasted, like what they do and how they do it. And granted, it takes a lot of volunteers, but one of the things, like you had mentioned, is a lot of this stuff, they already have homes for it. So if they know residents are bringing in, I don't know, whatever things, like some I can't even like teacups and saucers. And they know that the garden club every year does a little Mother's Day thing where they need teacups where they make little flower arrangements for elderly women or whatever like that. Then they'll collect them and hold them kind of things. So again, they work really tight with their community, you know, for these kinds of things. And Dighton, you guys have a really good relationship with your community, you know, that might be serving you well. So again, really investing in finding other places to take things. And I'll be honest, Savers takes everything.
Yes, well, they actually have an
Yeah.
address, which not, most Lions Clubs don't even have address. They have a building
Yeah,
right
yeah,
across
yeah,
from the
yeah,
CU
yeah.
dealership.
yeah, yeah. If you, so no, seriously, Tom, if you'd actually like a tour, I can arrange it. And actually, you know, everyone, but it is mind blowing what it is and what they're able to keep out of the trash stream. And they have a concept that I think is awesome. It's almost like a swap shed. Is they only take it on the first, I don't know, well, on Saturday morning, and so they have, what is it, it's called a flash table. So residents drop the stuff off, and people can grab it before they even take it into the thrift store. So even
Right.
before it makes it into the thrift store, people get it for free. So it's kind of a thrift concept. But yeah, it's mind blowing. But maybe tapping into them to see you know, where they send their stuff and some of their mindset. Or actually, I can do that because actually, you know, I'll do that because I really want to
I think,
tap into
Right.
their brain more.
Logistically, we cannot do what they're doing. It's a totally different
Yeah.
animal.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Communities-
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Community setup is totally different. However, there is an avenue of getting rid of stuff. If we had stuff to get rid of, we could share it with them.
I think I've got a lot here. We've had discussion for our next subcommittee meeting. There's a lot to
Already?
address. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you got my points about the success part, because two and
Correct.
three
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
go together.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And when we meet as a subcommittee on this, I think we've got a pretty good direction to go in.
Okay,
So can we move along?
yep.
Do you want me to attend one of those meetings? I won't be able to attend all of them, but to kind of pop in.
Dave and I have to figure out, and Peter, when the next one's going to be.
Okay,
Because David and
okay.
Peter are not here.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Can we move to compost bins? Because I have a question for her.
Yep, so we're gonna move along to compost bins now.
I have a question.
Yep.
We internally have developed a cover sheet that addresses the reasons and the rationale and the financial aspects of composting.
Mhm.
You sent us an outline for home composting presentation, okay?
Yep.
This thing here. What Elizabeth and I had discussed, and we sort of discussed this at our last meeting. If we modified your presentation specifically, maybe took out outline for home composting presentation and attached this document you sent us that tells us how to do things, tells people how to do things, attached it to our document and then put it throughout town. The thinking would be, because our merchants in town are great, if they support the town wholeheartedly. If people are willing to pick up the document that we came up with, why you should do it, why it's a great thing, and have this attached to it, not only the why, but hey, here's how you do it. Instead of having to take the next step and call the Board of Health or call Elizabeth, they've got it all in one package. Would you
Sure.
have any objections to that?
No problem. The other thing is you might want to put a QR code on there because not everyone wants, you know, the paper part. But yeah, no problem at all.
Okay, great.
I would highly suggest, the problem is that document is very wordy. People kind
Right.
of,
It's too busy.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
you know,
Yeah,
I know it's wordy, but I for one, like things just step by step
you
by
do.
step,
Yes, you
just
do.
like in a cookbook. And
Yeah,
after I do something a couple of times, this is way too wordy, but when I
right.
start out something for the first time, I'm talking me personally, I like to go step by step by step. And then if it's a total disaster on my part, I can go back and say, oh, yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Okay?
So yeah, you're 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 one of those people, and then there are other people who, like, you got 30 seconds of my time. So what we can do, and I can take that document and basically put it into like PowerPoint kind of bullet point kind of things. Actually, even PowerPoint and big slides might not be bad. Breaking it down and then actually having the QR code or whatever. Like if you want more detailed additional information, look at this number. But that's exactly a really good point that you bring up. And I have some municipalities who will give one sentence of instruction and information and think that's enough. And then I'll have others that'll give like 5 pages. And I'm going, we need something in the middle. But there are different kinds of people. They need that. Some people want one sentence, some want, a whole page, and then others want very detailed. So we want to be able to accommodate all those people. So I'm thinking maybe we could add that if you want more additional information, more detailed information, contact. Look,
You have to forgive me, I'm an engineer.
I know.
It's just that.
I
So
know.
would it be possible to, yeah, I confess. Would it be
I know.
possible
I knew that
to,
the minute I met you.
would it be possible to send us something like that? That is a good
Yeah.
idea to,
Yeah.
perhaps our document and then attach to it your document with a.
Yep.
I'm going to use the word synopsis of how
Yeah.
to do this, and then with a QR code for more information, go here. And
Yep.
I think that would be beneficial, but again, it gives people that may be interested the whole program
Yep.
right there, instead of having to go here, go there,
Yep.
go everywhere, okay?
Yep.
Could you send it
Oh,
to you?
yeah.
Of course.
Oh, definitely. So the other thing is that this time of the year is the perfect time to be starting composting. And so if there's some way that I could present at your library in person, I'm going to be doing this in Swansea at their senior center, but somewhere, and like maybe get it videotaped where I'm literally picking up leaves and, saying this is what we're looking at and, adding this in and, giving it a good mix kind of thing like that. So residents could also see it. And then all this information would also be in there as well. Because again, going back to, I hate to say it, the pandemic really has messed up and social media, the way people absorb information anymore. So also having a visual, and to be honest, I hate to be on screen, so I'll never watch this thing, but again, just visually seeing what we're talking about would also help too.
Well, well, I don't know. I can't speak for Mr. Chairman.
Well, about the articles going out?
No. Missy had indicated she would send us an abbreviated version of this, or the QR code.
I'm
and
all-
then,
I'm all
and
for
then-
that.
And I'll tell you what, as I said to Elizabeth, once we put that package together, I'll be the delivery boy. I envision, leaving some at the transfer station
Mhm.
to our businesses around town, maybe 10 or 12, 15 copies of it for people to pick up. We can post it. I'll post it here, post it there, post it everywhere, and
Yeah.
I think let's get the ball rolling a little faster.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know?
and it can always be improved in the future.
Oh, 100%,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we do that, the selectmen's corner cable. So that would be right up Peter's alley.
Sure.
So you could sort of discuss it there, and get people interested.
And
Thank
another
you.
thing is you have your little, I don't know what it's officially called, the complex there where you have the building you're in and then the town hall and the park and everything. What is that an official area called something?
No,
Dayton. It's called Dayton, okay. But the
because
thing is,
it'll be a wetlands violation.
okay. Not my job. No. But that gets so many people coming through that area, that maybe if you had a yard, something just like a yard sign,
The
more,
community garden though, would,
I'm sorry?
outside the fence at the community garden, just to the north.
Right, okay,
We dump our lawn clippings there from the complex. So
okay,
it could be an active place and they could actually utilize it.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
and they
okay.
can maintain it.
Well, I think we can, once we put this thing together, which hopefully be real short term, we can probably figure out, where to put them. I mean, I would put them in place, I've put other flyers, Alice's, the gas station.
Yep.
Gas station up here,
Where people buy their trash bags,
where people
Yeah.
buy their trash.
put
bags.
it right with the
Yeah.
trash bag,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
best,
Good point.
that's the best place for it.
And the other thing is contacting the schools. The thing is, a lot of what composting is part of the school science curriculum, learning about decomposition and life cycles and all that kind of stuff. So your schools are another great place to get that information
Yeah.
out. And it's a fun family activity. It really is. I mean, it's kind of. But trust me, it is a fun family activity. I made my kids do it for years. And now that they're in their 20s, they're like teaching other people how to do it. And, so.
Good.
Was there anything else in the compost bins?
No.
Okay,
If you could send it, when you receive it, give me a call. We can work on it again, okay?
other items not reasonably anticipated within 48 hours. Public input.
Anybody?
Next scheduled meeting,
November 3rd.
November 3rd.
What time?
3 was ideal for Mr. Neely and yourself, right?
Yeah. Fine, yeah.
It stays away from supper for most of us. I usually have other meetings, like tonight, I got 2 other ones. Not here. Yeah, so we'll schedule next month, November 3rd, 3 o'clock. We won't wait till the week before to post it, we'll post it earlier.
Okay.
I did notice going online, I think it's a Leanne thing. We still got the old fee schedule
Okay.
when you go online.
All
I
right.
went to 3 pages before I got to the most current one.
All right.
Would anybody here have an objection once we receive this documentation from Missy and Elizabeth and I attach it to our flyer? Before the next meeting for us to put it together and take it out and distribute it? I mean, would that be an issue?
I'm good with it. We could share it. You can share, she can share by email. first.
Okay, that's
Give it a
true.
thumbs up and
Yeah,
off it
we'll do that.
goes.
And then, because the sooner we get it out there, the better,
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Okay.
And like I said, there's always going to be room for editing anyways, so. let's
Yeah.
get it out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Liz, could you please send me the copy that you guys have in case you did any editing? So I make sure I have the most current.
It's a outline for home composting presentation. It doesn't have a date on it, but it's 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5,
I'm already
6
bored.
pages.
Yeah. And I'm already going, which one was that? I send out so much information. Could you just do me a
Yeah.
favor and send me
Can
that
you-
one? I want to make sure.
Can you see this one?
No, I can't.
I can send it to him.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you. The minute I'll see it, I'll go, oh yeah, duh, okay.
Okay.
When it comes to advertising, less is definitely more.
Yeah,
I see it from the aspect of people driving by, how much
Yeah.
time they have to
Yeah.
read something,
yeah,
but you
Yeah.
gotta get to the meat and potatoes
Yeah.
very quick.
Okay. No problem.
And it can't stay out there long either.
No.
'Cause They become callous to it.
Yep.
That's for
no,
sure.
he's absolutely right.
So it should be something new. It could be a tidbit, it could be a point of the
Yeah.
month or something.
And actually so Ralph, I don't know if, you're planning on doing some like little newsletter kind of thing, or if you have one in Dayton. I mean, some of them are just really simple little things like Tom mentioned, tidbits or some event coming up or
Yeah.
something crazy like that.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. And that's,
Yeah, we can forego approving the minutes so that we get a fuller board if we want, or I can entertain it. Other than that, we can entertain a motion to adjourn.
I had some questions, but they've all been answered on the minutes, because questions we asked in here. So I would motion that we.
So I can
Minutes.
just, just one point on the minutes. I know I wasn't here, but a little bit of a typo. First page on the old business A, it has the members of the subcommittee as Peter Karen, Bob Neely, and Dave Neely. So it should, and other than that,
I'll change
Bob
it.
keeps coming up.
So you wanna
Wow.
make a motion with the corrections?
I mean, we could do it. You could motion.
Will you accept a friendly amendment?
Bob Neely, oh yeah, gee
That
whiz.
means it's.
I didn't even see that one. Yeah, that guy,
Or retract your motion and
well, how about we say.
I didn't even let him
to
complete his
accept- I mean,
motion.
as amended.
Second,
any further discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Very good.
I didn't even see that part. Okay,
German,
so moved.
Second.
on favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Get outside, enjoy the weather. Go on.